Hi Glendale, I'm Meg Keller.
And I'm Harper Brady.
And you're watching the second episode of the Glendale 411.
On September 6th, in downtown Springfield, Promo hosted the Seek Equality Scavenger Hunt.
Michelle Lewis and Jaden Sanford have the story.
So the Seek Equality SGF Scavenger Hunt is our yearly fundraiser in the Springfield area for Promo. And what it is to really celebrate our inclusive downtown Springfield area, our inclusive businesses, and raise funds for LGBTQ equality here in the state.
They give us clues on a list, and we have to figure them out and run around downtown and take selfies with our whole team against the background of a flag or an equality symbol.
A long time ago, we used to have a trivia night. Well, if you live in Springfield, you can pretty much find trivia anywhere. And so we thought, what can we do to trivia that's a little bit different? And so we decided, let's do a scavenger hunt.
A lot of events are non-participatory, so you're just sitting in the audience and you're watching a presentation or a performance to benefit an organization that you support. But this is a great opportunity to really feel like you're doing something, and it includes fun, it includes really spreading the word throughout the community. And I think it's very important for us to be visible now more than ever.
Because the funds go to Promo, it really benefits LGBTQ Missourians, and specifically LGBTQ people in Southwest Missouri. We are the only organization in the state of Missouri who does advocacy on this level. And advocacy on this level for LGBTQ people who often in our state feel like they have no one who has their back.
A lot of times in red states, we feel very alone as members of the queer community.
We want everyone to feel like they're welcome and invited in this space. We are an inclusive community, and we're ready to be an inclusive Missouri.
Glendale's newest club, the Law and Justice Society, brings politics and debate together.
Chase Cantrell and Katie Blades have the story.
The Law and Justice Society is a nonpartisan organization of students with the purpose of engaging students in the community and in politics. The way that students can join the Law and Justice Society is simply just to show up at a meeting. Anybody is welcome. All they have to do is complete an application. Dues are $5. And for the next few months, I anticipate we'll be meeting at least once a month, if not more often, in the mornings before school in my classroom. The club is different from other clubs at Glendale because we are nonpartisan, so we're not affiliated with a political party.
Mrs. Franklin kind of asked students' opinions and asked what we thought would be fun to add to it, and so it's just kind of a whole pot of everybody's ideas put together.
The purpose of this club is to engage every person, regardless of their political ideologies or opinions. It's also the purpose to encourage students to be active in the community.
For me, being in the Law and Justice Club is also just about becoming a more educated and more involved member of society.
Have you noticed the change in lunches this year?
Cameron Clymer and I investigate. This year, administration changed the number of lunches from 4 lunches to 3, causing an increase in the amount of students in each lunch.
There was a time, actually several years, that we had teachers help supervise, and then more recently they wanted us to use the teacher, what's called the FTE, which is just the amount of teachers that we have, more efficiently, so they didn't want teachers supervising. So then the administrators took on all the lunchroom supervision. So what we found then, whenever we were on lunchroom supervision for all of third block, what used to be third block, of course, when we had lunches third block last year, is we were doing lunchroom supervision the whole time, and there was classrooms we couldn't get into because we also want to get in the classrooms for teachers. We thought, well, could we do it in 3 lunches? Could we make 3 lunches work? And then we're seeing what we feel like are some benefits where we have the 25 minutes between first and second lunch and the 20 minutes between second and third lunch, which is some pretty good time to get in the classrooms.
We asked a Glendale senior how the lunch change has affected her experience.
So I think the pros of the lunch change is it probably gives the lunch ladies more times to transition and clean between lunches to make sure that everything's up and running and they're not super stressed out. But I think that the cons are that students are super overcrowded. Like I've seen a ton of people having to sit on the ground or not have a seat and stand up. And it's not necessarily an issue of having enough seats, it's having enough seats for everyone to sit comfortably. in the cafeteria. Yeah, it's kind of hindered my lunches experience because if a person sits at a table we would normally sit at, there's absolutely no place for us to move to. And so there've been a ton of lunches where I've had to stand up, or I've had to share seats with someone, or like one of my friends has had to stand up because there's not enough seats for us to be able to sit with everyone that we want to.
Yes, they're kind of full, even though we are going to get some tables in. I think 6 more round tables should be coming in, if not this month, next month. So I think that'll alleviate a little bit of the crowding, even though I think some students choose not to sit at seats because there are enough seats. There's 424 seats, and that's not counting that bench area that a lot of kids like to sit in. And then with the 6 new round tables, that's 48 more. So we should have seating for 472 when those come in. So that should be more than enough to accommodate about an average of 400 per lunch.
Looking for something entertaining to do? Head down to the Springfield Little Theater and watch their production of Newsies.
Mattia Injami and I have the story.
Now is the time to seize the day. Stare down the odds and seize the day. Once we begun, if we stand.
Well, Newsies is a big old Broadway musical that centers around the story of the newsboy strike of 1899. So it's based around real life events, and it really centers around a young man named Jack and a bunch of newsboys who fight the man for what's right. And the story is told through incredible music, incredible dancing. We have a cast of 59, and they're just wonderful. The energy coming off of that stage is amazing. The rehearsal process for Newsies has been super fun. This cast has worked very hard, and they have been a pleasure to work with, and they absolutely will not disappoint.
My life, carrying the man through it all.
I think my favorite part is being able to be in a show with a bunch of guys, because in theater you don't see too many large male numbers, and that's really cool to finally be able to perform with a bunch of guys on stage. It's very exhausting for one, but it's definitely worth it. Warm-ups straight into dancing and singing definitely tires you out, but it's extremely fun. I think people are going to be excited about the sound and the energy that we all bring to the stage. There are so many incredible voices in the cast, and all of the numbers are high energy, and all of them are crowd pleasers, and everyone will give it their all.
Pulitzer and Hearst, they think they got us. Do they got us? No!
As far as the show goes, it's incredibly athletic. It's pretty amazing, actually, the dancing that's happening, and it's a great story. And it always starts out with we cast, then we do music, and then Lori Ann goes in and does dancing, and then I come in and do acting stuff. And we've got the Lander stage. I mean, that's magical. There's nothing like walking on the Lander stage and finding the sweet spot. It's pretty amazing when you look at how many people are up there just giving it their all. I really can't wait to see the whole cast share this with an audience. I think it's going to be really electric. I'm pretty excited about it. I just think it's time for the Newsies to show off a little bit. That's what I think.
I got nothing if I ain't got nothing.
The 8th annual One Sole Purpose race took place last Saturday.
Ryan Harp and Cadence Garrison have the story.
One Sole Purpose is an organization that started out of High Street that raises money to put shoes on the feet of kids in Title I schools in Springfield.
Started 9 years ago. We were at a banquet at Weld Elementary, talking with some other volunteers there with the Sense of Pride store, and found out there was a need for shoes, and didn't realize that there was such a great need for shoes in the school. And we decided, we went home that night after the banquet, said, you know, we need to get these kids shoes.
I've been running in the One Sole Purpose race since it very first started. When you just give money, like sometimes you don't get to see like the community come together to support the cause. but when you come out to the race, you get to see everybody that's here, the businesses, the teams, the people, and it really makes you feel like you're part of something.
We have a lot of people that register last minute. Runners like to wait till the day of the race and then come out that morning and register, but we had well over, I'm going to guess about 550 people registered to run this year.
Thanks for watching.
Make sure to check out our social media at the Glendale 411.
Signing out, I'm Harper Brady.
And I'm Meg Keller.